So these guys just piss money away and then don't want to spend it on the things that it actually has to be spent on. Hey, I don't blame the guy, by the way, double dipping on his salary. Like, my guy, get that bread. But like the fact that Noble yeah, go on. Yeah, are you pissing on it? Yeah.
Sorry, Jason.
My guys.
I'm sorry, Jason.
So look, there are a ton of shitty esports orgs with shitty logos that all look like derivatives of the same thing. Look like an abstract noun as their name, right? It's every fucking like every shitty org.
I
is
love
like
that I can look and see the shit. Now.
Yeah,
It's right there.
This is Noble. Yeah, this is basically Leonidas met Anita Sarkeesian and got a makeover. Noble. Yeah, go on. Yeah, are you pissing on it? Yeah.
Sorry, Jason.
My guys.
I'm sorry, Jason. Don't try this at home.
We'll clean that up later.
Don't try this at home.
Noble. Let's talk about these guys. A great article by Liz Richardson for .esports that sort of highlights a lot of the angst that was happening around this brand. A lot to talk about here, Scott. First of all, basically they weren't paying people. In a nutshell, there's a lot of elements to this. So at some point, the social media management of Noble, this is when we really understood outwardly that something was going on. Yeah, hello, Noble fans. This is the social media team. We will not be working until we all receive the payment that was promised in our contracts. # stay unpaid, which I think might be a sort of a twist on that. And then they changed their header, I suppose, which is fair enough, I guess.
Don't piss off
they
your
changed their
social
banner.
media team.
Right.
Never
And so
piss
we're thinking,
off
something is fucking going on. Something is happening here. And then it disappeared. I guess their Twitter account for a time blinked out of existence. So if you didn't know what was going on up until now, you probably know something's happening. And at this time, everybody at Noble is resigning. A bunch of people, like different sort of from different departments, and basically saying I'm owed this amount of money. It was obviously people found it entertaining, but in reality, like these are a bunch of people that weren't getting paid by their employer, and now they were going public, which is obviously the nuclear option for these people. And this team has not been clean in hands, sort of over the years anyway. I mean, like so the first guy who owned it was some douchehole who was accused of sexual harassment, and then a guy called Kyle McDougal, literally called Kyle from Florida, and he was a what do they call him? Maggot, whatever. He was a Trumper. Anyway, Alexander Cole here says, I left Noble in 2019 as the GM after allegations arose between Noble and not funding the H1Z1 team properly, stopping a payment on the team's condo, leaving one person to be evicted from the condo without money for a plane ticket home. This is before, by the way, this team was acquired. So this was under the initial management. But the problem is with the subsequent management, I guess, these guys are birds of a feather because neither of the cunts is paying their staff. And Scott, we got this fucking Carl McDougal's his name. I guess he had the VC to acquire the brand for a reported amount of $200,000. So yeah, that's how he picked it up and then sort of tried to make things happen with this org. But did you see his explanation, his statement on Twitlonger? Some real holes here.
Yeah, insane statement. Well worth the read, folks. It been punched full of holes, obviously, since he put it out. He did bring the Twitter back as well. A couple things, so he bought Noble from the last scummy owner for $200,000 in 2020, and then started spending money. Staff, teams, etc. The first thing that jumped out at me in his little statement that got called on him was that they paid all their payroll in PayPal, which sometimes depending on the country and who you're paying, sometimes you have to use PayPal for stuff. Does make sense, but not everything. And tens of thousands of dollars worth of fees over the course of a year is just impossible. The fees aren't that high, so he's basically flat out lying about PayPal fees. And then people started researching this guy and figuring out who he was, and his LinkedIn. He's got a finance degree and all this different finance background, and so people started calling him on you're using PayPal and Excel as your payroll system, right? Your payroll system.
Do not just
Do Not Peak is a
Step
little
up from
company
that
with
would be
11 of us, and we've got a payroll system and QuickBooks and all this adult business shit. Like, and he's
Yeah.
got more people on his social media team and creators than in my entire company, right? So insane that, like, and it's all just excuses, right? Like, because it wasn't just 1 month of missed payments because I missed an Excel spreadsheet. Uh, his version of Noble made news last year when his India PUBG team, I'm slowing down because I think it's
Yeah.
PUBG because I'm confusing with
Yeah.
H1Z1 from the other owner.
PUBG.
PUBG
PUBG
team,
Mobile. PUBG Mobile.
PUBG Mobile went 4 months without getting their paychecks for their salaries. So I think what this guy did is he thought whoever the old owner was, sold this guy a pill of goods on the Noble brand, the Noble social, the Noble metrics, how great esports is. You can get on the ground floor. We're a badass team. You can be just like 100 Thieves and Cloud9. For the low, low price of $200,000, you start off with a great brand. He says, great. Maybe he is a decent guy. Maybe he's not a bad guy at all and just has no idea about our industry and thinks $200,000.
Oh,
Hang on, I'm
tons.
benefit of the doubt. I'm doing a little Van Silly on you. I know you don't like it 2 days in a row. I'm going to give it to you. The respect heart, Van Silly, respect heart. But then he gets in, right? And he realizes that all these divisions and all these salaries, and he's got 10 employees that are not players in this division of 5 and this division of 3 and all this labor and overhead, and realizes that there's not a single ounce of fucking revenue in this business, right? And he starts just burning capital, his own, right? He quickly realized esports, he got fucking gamed, right? So again, none of this makes it right, but obviously,
Then what did he decide to do?
so he
Then what?
decided to go to the topic we always talk about. Nobility coin, the token comes along.
I mean, before that, he just decided not to pay cunts. He just this isn't working out for me. I'm just not going to pay people.
Yes, he literally
Right,
decides, I'm done. I'm going to walk
fucking
away from this little fucking shithole business.
Yeah, literally. Okay, so yeah, around February, March 2021. Again, this is coming from the .esports article. McDougal wanted to sell Noble, right? And he said he just wanted to. He didn't want to pay for anything anymore, so he wanted to sell it. But he hadn't sold it yet. He still had the fucking thing. Anyway, go on.
What's there to
We can
sell?
talk about this
Like,
because at this point, McDougal is starting to felch around in the cryptocurrency world. And trying to, I think, reach out. A Safe Moon, for example, is like one particular coin that I know he reached out to. It was like, it was a tweet that they made, and obviously it appealed to a bunch of crypto people. Safe Moon from what I understand, is full of people trying to pump their own bags, so they're really bullish about it on Twitter.
Okay.
This is very common, but I just want to quickly take an aside. When you have a community of people that are tweeting about a cryptocurrency, using a specific hashtag as well. These people are in a Discord that is related to that cryptocurrency. And quite often these Discords, there are channels called raid channels. And the admins, they say, hey, this person just said he's interested in getting into cryptocurrency. All of you go there and shield this coin. Or, hey, this person is critical about a coin on Twitter. All of you go there and shit on them. They brigade social media activity with the people inside the Discord who are obviously just trying to pump their own bags. They don't want to see any FUD, right? Which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt about what they've invested in, because it will, they want the floor price, they want the price of the coin to go up. So they will more than happily, en masse, these fucking 5-follower accounts go out there and sort of pump their bags by saying how good their thing is. So this tweet obviously that Noble made about Safe Moon attracted all these people, and I guess they started talking. It's dodgy, right? So you can't really trust what you see on Twitter. Everyone's like, yeah, this is great. This NFT is going to build schools in Nepal. You should check it out. It's fucking awesome. They'll say whatever the fuck they can to pump their bags so they don't lose the money that they invested. The more money they invest, the more desperate they are to just do whatever they can. Anyway, this guy, McDougal, created his own crypto token after things with Safe Moon didn't actually happen, called an ability token. So again, we talked about this last week about Ice Poseidon's situation with his CX coin.
Yeah.
Now, quite often these tokens are introduced with a scheme. So McDougal's case, the nobility token was to have 7% of the tokens. I don't know. I guess this is fractionalized rewards go to the holders of the token, right? So there are dividends of some sort going to the holders of the token. A 2% goes back into the system. What does that mean? I guess potentially burning those tokens. And then 2% is put into a quote unquote esports wallet for tournament pools. So the sort of whole point about this was that it would also fund esports tournaments. They had utility. There was a reason to hold it, yada yada. I think David Chen, who co-owned FaZe Clan, was on board with this. He actually got on board, but tournament organizers, Scott, game devs don't want to work with crypto money to fund tournaments for them in like a third party sense. So this was like kind of a bad idea. But anyway, while this shit's going down with Noble, then as it showed on that sort of tweet, the Nobility Token account is sort of tweeting about this and saying, "Hey, we're like not the same. You know, we're completely different." But it's the same person.
Yeah.
It's literally McDougal tweeting this shit.
Yeah, and I was looking at the actual Noble GG website the other day and looked at their staff list, and there's like 8 people listed with their bios, Kyle, and then like 7 of his employees. All 7 of them that were listed have all quit. They're all part of it, and then more quit that weren't listed on the his entire About Us staff page is empty now. Well, it's probably not empty. They're probably still listed, but just they all left. But they're all on the Nobility Token side, pretending like they're not related. The graphics guy worked for both. Obviously, he's involved in both. They used the esports side of it. The coin only exists because of the Nobility brand, Noble brand, right? And I still think it's just so typical esports that the douchebags that come up with the most pompous name for their fucking brands are the ones that literally do the opposite to them, right? Like Noble.
Sure.
Let's look up Noble, shall we? Let's research what Noble stands for and what.
Well, I mean, that's what I said. Like some abstract noun bullshit, right? They just want to slap on a logo.
Denial's perfect.
So
Jason
funny
said,
is that
Denial's perfect. You're all right.
Denial's a great.
And it's funny. Denial is literally the carbon copy. Denial had its first owner, terrible piece of shit, quits, sells his piece of shit to somebody else who wants to make a difference, who's gonna be great. This crazy dude named Zach wasn't great, didn't make a positive difference. He came in with a blaze of glory, also burned the fuck out of people, had a CEO that burned the fuck out of people. They dipped out into crypto and all sorts of shit. So it's weird. Denial and Noble, very similar. Very, very similar stories.
Yeah, look, I mean, I like this guy, the guy, you have to understand, the guy running this thing, he has money, but he has more dollars than cents. You know that saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
More dollars than cents. Right? He has no fucking idea how to run this brand because, he's using the social media account of Noble to like a bunch of right-wing tweets. He has used social media on Instagram or on Twitter to further his sort of Republican Party sort of supporting Trump-loving beliefs. I mean, that's there's literally a tweet from a member of their creative team who had a screenshot of all these tweets that were liked by the Noble account that they didn't know about. They had to go back and unlike them all because people started noticing. This is all public, right? And this guy was just dragging his feet. He didn't want to pay people at all. He literally called someone a quote-unquote pussy for taking a mental health day. That was not to them, but to his sort of GM, right? So this is the kind of person that we're dealing with. Yeah, this is the kind of person we're dealing with. So, you have money, you get into esports, you become dissatisfied because you can't turn it into a quick profit.
Yeah.
Then you get mad and say, "I'm not paying because I didn't get my return on investment out of this, so I'm just not going to put any more in. I'm not going to pay these people now." This is what happened with Artur Minikov. It was the same thing with these things. Oh no, this industry has betrayed me, so I'm not going to give it another cent. No.
Yeah.
It's affecting my mental health. I'm going to go away and fucking recover and become reborn again because of the impact that this has had on my life. They don't know how to spend money, so they've got a guy who does graphics, I think, or something like that. And he was working for Noble already. And so then what they do, they sign him to work for the Nobility Token as well, to produce assets, graphics, whatever, right? In theory. He double dips his salary. They say, okay, yeah, we'll offer you this salary again. So they're paying him double now, but they asked him to do this much. Nothing. So these guys just piss money away and then don't want to spend it on the things that it actually has to be spent on. Hey, I don't blame the guy for fucking, by the way, double dipping on his salary. My guy, get that bread. But the fact that they're not actually assigning him any work to do whatsoever. His workload didn't change at all, and they're paying him double. Means that this is mismanagement of money. It's probably some fucking trust fund kid or just some dickhead who managed to walk into some money and has no idea how to manage it. this story keeps happening over and over again in esports. We self-police to some degree, but like it's so fucking Wild West out
Yeah,
here, mate. That like people
there's too
can
many of
come
them.
in and do this. And it's happened so many times. Uh that's because I guess that's one of the parts of it, us being kind of grassroots in that you can get involved in some way. We don't have checks and balances to apply to individuals that are entering the space. And even when we quote unquote, I mean, even when we could have them in theory, we sort of choose not to apply them because the money is too good. That's I mean, I'm sure it's better than it was. Well, I was at ESL at what 2012, was it 2013? So even that wasn't even that long ago. If I'm talking to someone like Odie or talking to someone like Scoots, but even then I was like, "Oh, this is fucking wild. This is."
Oh yeah.
And then in Australia since '09, I saw like the '09 shit show, '09 through 14 shit show in Australia, where it just fucking, and I mean, it didn't make any sense. So just another brick in the wall of shit country, Scott. Just another one, mate.
Yes, a not very noble endeavor, but it led us down a rabbit hole, Jason and I,
Oh.
yesterday, brother.
Okay.
Because we started looking at this nobility token and then some press releases around it, and it led us to this thing called Glitch and this Vegas event where they played this video and they started talking about Noble and Glitch and investment together and the future of esports and these esports arenas. And
What is glitch?
Glitch?
Yeah, what the fuck is glitch?
Glitch is
Where did this come from?
Here you go. Save your money, kids.
Is this the metaverse? Is this the metaverse?
I
Finally?
wish. This is everything you always
Sorry?
wanted in a venue.
Okay. They actually intended to build this in real life, right? In brick and mortar real life.
Yes, the plan for this, Glitch is a live entertainment company. They plan to build 20 plus of these in North America and Canada, ranging from 50,000 square feet to 90. That is a laser tag Counter-Strike map right there. They literally smoked a bunch of weed and put every possible thing you would ever want to jam into a LAN cafe, PC bang, esports arena, arcade, ever into one building. Tron bikes, Tron racing bikes, stadium. Oh, here comes the esports arena. Big theater. Look at this thing, dude.
Huh?
I'm pumped. I want one in my backyard. I want one yesterday.
So hang on. This is all right. So I mean, first of all, the render is
It's impressive.
extremely detailed. I mean,
Yeah.
how much do you fucking pay for a render? Sorry,
Hidden areas.
In the middle of some fucking
Hidden areas.
Scotland Yard looking hub. Oh, okay, hang on. Was that Korean barbecue? But that architecture wasn't Korean. What is going on? What is this? It looks like a Siri station.
Oh, yeah.
If you fucking watch these fans.
90,000 square foot of gaming, entertainment
What
goodness.
is this? Bridge of the Rocinante? Okay, that's normal arcade game. This is the arena again.
Yeah, it's just the end of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy. They got everything. Again,
so-
everything you could possibly think of. That's what I was like,
Okay,
oh
so
shit, this
first
is
of all,
crazy.
People with epilepsy wouldn't be able to step into that building at all,
no,
unfortunately.
no.
People that are photosensitive.
No.
Just fucking forget about it.
So-
Okay. What do they have Adderall dispensers instead of gumball machines in this place? So you're telling me, Scott, that this is something that Noble, is this their project or
Yep.
are they investing it? Like,
Well, we were trying to figure out the Glitch Noble connection, and it was really gray, so we couldn't quite figure it out. But then we just got really excited about this Glitch project, and excited by like, what the hell is this goddamn thing? And it turns out that this company not only is doing the arenas, and again, they want to open a whole shitload of them. You know, they say 32 of them over the next 8 years. Very expensive, about $54 million each. But what they're also doing is they're crowdfunding a gear company, kind of, sort of, in a weird way, right? You can invest. See, these are invest now in keyboard, right? This really crazy investment scheme. And then they have this tournament desk that is just the craziest goddamn thing ever. You can pre-order one right now. And they're
for 15 grand.
Say again?
For 15 grand, right? If you invest 15 grand, you're gonna send you one. So what? This is a Hold on.
Yeah, so this is the
This is
desk
like
promo.
a computer and a desk?
The idea is you're a tournament
Can you explain-
organizer, and you have all these desks. Really easy to set them up for your events. You can rack them all up, set them all up, hook them all up, and away you go.
Okay.
Now, if you got to swap that video card out, though, in mid-match or something, or swap the PC, bad idea.
Okay. Well, right. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of different things here. Fair enough. So there's two different things we're looking at here. Glitch is trying to create a product in partnership with Alienware that represents like a all-in-one solution for tournament organizers, where you can it's like a modular. You deploy this desk, it's all built in there. So theoretically, it would save some time in setup. God forbid, I don't know how hard it would be to really tinker with the hardware there, but I mean, I don't know how much the actual computer, how much space the computer takes up there. What if I like to fucking slam the desk though when I lose?
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? That doesn't seem great. So this is the company is creating the desk, this gaming desk, right? Kind of like a Kickstarter, glitchgear.com. You can have a look at it yourself. But they also are trying to create these like gigantic esports complexes.
Yeah.
We can't like. It's not even worthwhile. We'll talk to we'll talk to Hector about this later as well. So obviously he's involved in the esports arena, one of the few sort of purpose-built stadiums for esports tournaments. The ROI does not exist for purpose-built esports venues. At least I'm pretty sure. I know that Belong Arenas, I think, is another brand that is creating these destinations. I don't think they look nearly like that. Looks like an Unreal Tournament level, I think, like you pointed out. But yeah, that's what Noble are investing in. So I mean, they're obviously very entrepreneurially aligned, but I mean, just pay your people first, I guess, is my concern. Just like looks like they're into some weird shit.
Yeah, and that whole glitch thing, like that video just screams, we're going to make something really slick so we can convince you to give us millions and millions and millions of dollars of your venture capital. Because we don't need $54 million super hyped esports arena arcades anywhere. Like, I think Belong, I think the smaller ones, like you mentioned Belong, that's more of a strip mall-y PC LAN cafe vibe. Small square
Right.
footage, easy to maintain, not like that at all. No arena, no theater stuff. And then local hosts, Nerd Street. Like, we've got tons of people that are trying to do, I think, less glossy looking venues. I think the Fusion, if they haven't opened, they're still trying to open that thing in Philadelphia attached to their teams. That is more glossy like this a little bit, but attached to teams at least. But again,
Right.
And in reading some stuff, so a little bit of backstory that makes it make a little sense, although it still doesn't make sense. The guy behind Glitch is the ex-owner of GameWorks. And if you're not familiar with what a GameWorks is, there's 7 of them now left in the U.S. And GameWorks were a fancy arcade, right? Big malls had them. They had food, they had arcades, and they had big crazy arcade machines, like the ones that you strap it and you go up, half a level, like wacky shit. Like Dave & Buster's, but even more so on crack. But the minute we all stopped going to arcades and started sitting in our house and playing video games at home, that whole business, from arcades to LAN cafes to those high-end places, all started fucking going out of business because their food was shit and overpriced, and I didn't need their entertainment anymore. So all this guy is doing is going, well, GameWorks just did it wrong. I'm going to do it right. And he's going to spend even more money building a fucking Ready Player One thing that we just don't need, or not enough people will use every day in that city to keep the fucking lights on, right? I just don't know where they think.
Astronomical investment. The overheads would be mental. You'd need a whole fucking nuclear power plant to run the place. And like, the technology, the build out would be exorbitant. I don't know.
It may be one in one city or 2, but like, you're going to roll one of these out into 32. So 32 means every metropolitan city, big city, decently sized in our country and Canada. That's insane. Why? Like, you would put this in Las Vegas, right? And then maybe it's a destination thing to go with all the other destination-y type shit. Or you put it in Orlando, destination-y kind of shit. But to put one in LA and
Sure.
Dallas and Chicago and in Miami and in New York and Phoenix, you gonna put it in Phoenix? Call us. Call me. We'll get involved for sure because, we'll overcharge you to help you build it. But it just seems like it just seems really silly to me. And we tried to, supposedly they have broken ground in the for the Los Angeles location. Can't find a picture, can't find an address,
Wow.
can't find a single photo of this is our new place. All just render shit. So I don't know. It just seems, and I hate
Okay.
when they spell shit like this. When you spell glitch like this, GLY, like
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
you. Like, you're not clever. Anyway, glitch.
I don't. So I mean, okay. So this is fine, I suppose. So they say that their unique angle is melding esports stadiums with location-based entertainment and live broadcasting. Generally, esports stadiums and live broadcasting are already melded because that is the purpose of having a venue for that. So fair enough. Location-based entertainment. I happen to have a little bit of experience with geolocation and esports.
Yeah, you do.
And while it can offer some opportunities that otherwise are not available to you, one thing we discovered was that the demand in particular locales does not match up to, like, I don't believe that, like, they have really done a proper case study on these 32 locations to see if there would actually be a need or sufficient inflow of custom to justify this investment. I would be shocked. It sounds like an idea. Look, when you develop a business idea, you really are supposed to be using a fairly well detailed rubric. And one of the first things you do is you talk about what kind of need there is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what kind of niche this is going to fill. So you build your fucking arenas. That's fine. This is not even the issue for me. It's just, you already aren't paying your employees in what is theoretically a fairly low overhead context in sort of running Noble. And you want to do something on this scale. Like, I don't believe in Kyle McDougal's ability to run
Yeah.
anything. I don't even want him to run the fucking tap, Scott.
Well, I mean, I would just say put your Van Silly
Yeah.
hat on for a second and think if all those Overwatch teams would have had a glitch home arena. Just think.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't have done it for me personally. Wouldn't have done it for me. I mean, I guess like for them, I mean, they would have liked to have us there, I'm sure, because it would have justified their existence. They would have been able to command, like a decent fee for the use of the arena. But
Yeah. When I did read that they're
it's-
talking to teams and trying to do some sort of locality with this, but that's not enough. Even
Sure.
if Cloud9 blessed your LA venue and showed up all the time, $54 million entertainment venue. I think, and I get the sell of it, right? Like to be less critical of the actual idea and how insanely overproduced it is. I get that what we all care about and what we like in our industry and our hobbies, video games, anime, comic books, like we're no longer stuck in the dark. Like they all want to entertain us, right? They all like us. So I get how it'd be easy to sell a big mainstream arcade because we have barcades and everything's out in the open now in that sense, right? We're not, geeks are money now, not to be pushed aside, but to be, you need this collectible of this collectible of this collectible, and I got these battery collectibles for your new game. People buy all that shit. So I see how someone would make this arena and put all these like fan service checkboxes into our little world, right? But again, and I read somewhere in one of these articles that the idea was that you and your family would treat this like a trip to Disney. People will go to Disney and they'll spend a day in a park and they'll ride rides and they'll eat food and they'll do all this inter-family and friend activity and they'll get their money's worth. Then they'll hop in their car and they'll go home. Right? And it'll be just like that for a different generation of people. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, like, you're not going to get all the IP that Disney has. You're not going to get all the shit that they sell. Like, it's like they missed the fucking forest, right? Like, it's not going to be a theme park in the same way, right? Especially when half the theme park I can play at home just as well on my PC or on whatever. So, again, it'd be interesting if they open one. It'll be interesting if they open two. and it'll be insane if they open more than 10. That's what I'll say.
Whatever. It's not my money. Like,
Yeah, true.
again, like, you know, we things that we call out here is like just fucking dumb. You know, it's not my money. So this would probably, in my opinion, probably something that we might get a couple of locations put up. But I'd love to know what the runway is, right?
Yeah.
It'd have to be a pretty long runway. I know runways for theme parks and such are quite long.
Yeah.
In terms of that initial recoupment and then sort of to sort of really start to turn that profit. They have to be. So build it, see what happens. I would even check it out. I just don't really, I don't know. Lately, we're talking a lot on social media about things that are not necessary, I guess. Maybe that's just like the mindset that our community has started to adopt about things that are just being invented for the sake of it. So,
Yeah.
you know, this is all a bit much. The render is a bit much. I'd be very interested to compare the actual embodiment of what their esports stadium should look like to the render, because that is obviously supposed to attract someone. I guess I don't know who the fuck would be interested in that, but someone with money might be. So, you know, it's fine. Like I said, our issue is not with this. It's about with Noble, and this is one of the things that they are quote unquote diversified into. So that I'm concerned about the stewardship of anything touched by this Kyle McDougal guy, because he's just a fucking shitlord.
Yeah.
Genuinely a shitlord. It's just so perfect that his name Kyle and he's been fucking liking this mugger shit on Twitter.
Fucking
You know,
Kyle.
whatever. You guys, people like you, people like Kyle, I guess you're allowed to have money. You're allowed to try and build your toys, but you're just you're a weirdo. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Just a weirdo. Anyway.
and I guess we talk about this kind of shit because we see this money as wasted. We see it as potential good money that could be spent from investors or sponsors or advertisers or interested people, that when the nuts and bolts of this bus still aren't fucking tight, you want to spend on that. And like you see this shit, like the last thing we need is another esports arena. Really, like we just don't need it. It's just we'll see what happens.